T.O.,
Get your
yeah.
popcorn ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Get all the Terrell Owens.
He could still run a 440.
Yeah. Didn't he race like Tyreek Hill?
Yep.
I think
Yeah.
he did.
Smoked him.
Yeah. How old is he?
I don't know,
65.
man.
I don't know.
I thought he was 102. All right, you ready?
Ready.
What up? Welcome to another episode of the Dad's Got Kicks podcast. I am your host, Esteban Serrano, and joining me one more again is Efren and Josh. What up, y'all? How y'all living today?
Good.
Yeah, man. Doing awesome.
What day is it?
I don't know.
Tuesday? We recording on Tuesday?
It's Quarantine Tuesday. It's the 25th because it's the day after Mamba Day.
There you go.
So that's what's important.
That's right. Good
Yeah,
old
man.
Kobe.
Yeah, man. What did you guys do to celebrate? How did you celebrate the 824?
Oh, well, personally, I took a bunch of L's on Kobe sneakers, Kobe jerseys, Kobe paraphernalia, you name it. There was an L on Mamba Day for sure.
It's a shame. They didn't make enough. They didn't make enough pairs for everybody.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I don't understand why they felt the need to make this exclusive, especially for I think it was the big games that was supposed to come out the week after he passed away. You would think if you're holding them all the way till now, that you would make enough pair that everyone could have them because everyone wants to celebrate and appreciate and continue the legacy of the Black Mamba. And still, you guys drop the ball. Nike, what is really good with this? Like, all we want to do is enjoy our favorite player.
Right.
Come on. This is supposed to be a celebratory moment.
Even the jersey, the black and gold jersey, it's like reselling for $500, $600, $700. I'm looking at the price right now. It's $709 for an XL.
Oh,
$709? Oh my gosh! What was
and
it?
then
120 retail, right?
If you're unfortunate enough to have to buy the triple XL, it's $2,600.
That's insane.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Yeah, I mean, it makes me mad as a collector. I mean, listen, I'm a bigger Jordan guy than Kobe guy, but I respect Kobe. I respect his dynasty. I respect the way that he lived as a dad. I mean, especially being here with a group of guys who were dad's first, sneakerhead second. Yep. Really love the way that Kobe led as a father. But it's really disappointing that you can't celebrate the legacy of someone by copping some type of merchandise to be able to, pay your respect because there's other people trying to leverage that, take advantage of it, and sell it for 4, 5, 6 times the price. To me, that's a bit disrespectful of his legacy. And I wish resellers and other people who are trying to take advantage would just kind of lay off, specific moments like this when I think this is really for people to appreciate his career and his legacy.
Especially after like when he first passed, people were going in on sites and stores that still had his merch up. They were like, take it down. People are just buying it up and trying to resell it. So if you set the precedent at take that stuff down and don't try to capitalize on, his untimely passing, now you've had so much time to really build up a good amount of product so that everyone could celebrate Kobe. Like a couple days after his birthday, here's Mamba Day, and then still just L's, man. That's so frustrating, bro.
Yeah.
So frustrating.
That's crazy, but my problem with Nike here is like, why not take pre-orders on stuff like this? Like, why not take pre-orders and allow as many people who want to buy to buy?
Right.
Like that's a fair way for everyone to get it, to
Come on, man.
To have a piece of Kobe memorabilia without saying, hey, no, we're going to make a limited amount and then have these sharks swoop in and basically, rob people in order to get that. I think that's not right. And the fact that like Nike controls the volume of what they're producing, I mean, that's something on there, and I think that they have more control over. I'm just not sure why they don't, they don't do that better.
I heard that they made only 2,000 pairs of the big stage. Is that true?
Wow.
Did you guys hear that? I mean, that's
I read that as well.
Like, how many fans packed that stadium or packed the arena?
Right.
Yeah.
Not 2,000. Come on.
Come on, man.
No.
And see, that's when I hit up eBay and I go buy a fake bootleg version of the Black Mamba jersey. And what am I going to do?
Right. Yeah.
I can't get it. It's not like you made enough. So I'm going to rep one way or another. And here I am buying some bootleg Kobe jersey that's going to take a month to get here from China.
Mm-hmm.
And
but you know what?
Is what it is.
Because the sentiment is true. And, what you're trying to do is actually honor him for real. You're not trying to make a quick buck.
That's it, man. My West Philly brother.
Yeah. Oh, we're going to bring up Philly? Are we going to bring up Philly again?
Well, you can't talk about Kobe without talking about Philly. I didn't think that.
Let me just.
What are we even talking about here?
Yeah, of course. What are your thoughts on the firing?
I thought it was maybe 4 seasons too late. Are we kidding? I don't know what. Did Brett have naked photos of Pat Croce or something? I mean, come on, man. Get rid of that guy. He was terrible. First of all, I hated his accent. And as soon as he started talking with that accent, I was like, this guy's got to get out of here. This is not going to work in the city of Philadelphia.
And the beard. He had like the scraggliest beard.
Yeah, before COVID. It wasn't even a COVID beard. It was just the way he rolls. And that was another thing. You're right. If you're in Philly and you're going to have a beard, you got to have a big Muslim Sunni, or you got to have that joint trim and tightened up. You can't be walking around looking disheveled.
Yeah, no, he looked like he was on a Castaway with Tom Hanks or something.
Oh my God! Now he's a castaway for real. Get out of here.
Well, they tell you to dress or appear like the job you want. Obviously, he didn't want that job.
He didn't want.
His appearance was going straight downhill.
You could tell by the starting lineup. You could tell by he was trying to get fired. He wanted that unemployment check.
But the biggest travesty, I think, is Elton Brand coming out today and basically saying, yeah, we're not going to make any changes. The nucleus is going to be the same. And as a Sixers fan, I'm thinking like, man, just firing the coach, just firing Brett Brown, I don't think that's enough.
He's next.
I don't know if they have the pieces. That's just a start,
right.
Firing the coach. They got to do more than just get rid of him.
Yeah.
My goodness. It's funny because in my group chat with my homies, it's like a Philly sports chat. We're talking about potential coaches. And of course, it's like Gritty and, and Allen Iverson and maybe, I don't know, someone else famous. It's like
Eric
we don't.
Lindros.
Right. Let's just bring
anybody.
Wow.
Bring some old Philly icon back.
Yeah,
Dr. J, there you go. Give him the job.
Yeah.
He can do a better job. And it's like,
I just want a good coach. I just want a coach that knows basketball and use the tools that they have. But also it comes into managing the team, managing the personnel. If you look at the Sixers top to bottom, there's no way that they have the depth of talent to be competitive in the NBA right now. When you look at these other teams, man, they're just nowhere close to that.
No,
and
man.
The problem is like the deficits that Ben and Joel Embiid have, they don't necessarily complement one another. You know what I'm saying? So like you got to do something with the roster.
I feel like the Sixers have, we got first round draft picks or really high picks and then traded them away or like literally just got rid of them. And then we got Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. And I feel like if we would have kept all those other guys that we got rid of and got rid of these guys, like I feel like we would be a way better team if we kept, some of the guys that we didn't need to get rid of to make room for what? For like
Jimmy Butler advancing in the playoffs with Miami. I mean,
come on, man. Oh,
well, he left. He left because of the coach.
Yeah, he did.
Shocker.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Anyway, come on, man. Why, Efren, man? Come on. Why do you always have bring it to a dark Sixers moment? Like this is the second podcast, bro. We're talking about the life of one of the greatest NBA players of all time. He came from West Philly like myself. You know what I'm saying? And then you got to bring it to a dark Sixers moment. You know what? I'm going to bring it back to a positive Sixers moment. I grew up in West Philly, right around the corner, literally like 3 blocks away from St. Joe's University. St. Joe's University on City Line Avenue is where the Sixers practiced forever. One day, my uncle, God rest his soul, bought me and my cousins to watch the Sixers practice. So we're sitting up in the top, like we can touch the ceiling on the stadium where, at St. Joe's, and we're looking down and we see this kid who's playing 1-on-5 with the starting lineup of the Sixers. Jerry Stackhouse, Clarence Witherspoon, like all of the Sixers, and this kid who is taking them to school every go around. And I'm like, yo, who is this kid? Who is this kid that's giving it to the number 1 pick? Like, come on. And
What year was that?
I think he was a sophomore or a junior, because I think I was a freshman.
So it was like 90.
This is 96.
95,
Yeah.
96 or,
Yeah.
Wow.
And he was the, scrawny kid. He wasn't as tall as the rest of the team, but he was just like insanely dominant, to the point where like I'm like, who is this kid? Why is he here? Why isn't he wearing a Sixers uniform? Forget high school. Like, we need him on the team right now. And that was the moment that, I first saw with my own eyes Kobe Bryant. And from that on, I was a Kobe fan. Even though I'm a diehard Sixers fan, the only other jersey that wasn't the 76ers jersey I ever owned was a Kobe Bryant number 8 yellow Lakers jersey. Like, he's the only, and I can only root for him because he's from the hometown. But I respected everything he did. I would read the newspaper on Saturday mornings and watch and see, what he did. And whenever he was on TV, I would watch. And I went to a couple games. He played against my sister, her school, and he would just like destroy. It would be insane. So he was fun to watch on the come up for sure.
Yeah, well, and he was on the come up because he also took Brandy to the prom. I remember that and being like, look at this guy rolling to the prom with Brandy on his arm.
Come on, son.
Yeah, what a baller. No, it was very difficult to root against him because of his Philly roots, for sure. Even as a Sixers fan, even at that time, second team or like team 1A for me was the Bulls. But even thinking back to Kobe's rookie season, I remember Lakers made the playoffs. And I remember there was this game, I think, against the Utah Jazz. It was like an elimination game or something like that. And you just saw how fearless he was because he wasn't afraid to fail, which I think like that's the difference between a lot of guys that never become superstars, is the fact that in their mind, they always, in the back of their mind, they're always thinking, hey, I might fail, I might miss. I think in that game in the fourth quarter, and I think it went to overtime, Kobe missed maybe 4 shots that were like straight air balls.
Air ball, I remember.
Balls, not even touching the net.
From 3.
And the guys are kind of looking at him, but he wasn't afraid to take the next shot. And in the next big moment, there were other guys who were kind of like, nah, I don't want to take it. Kobe, and he's a rookie. And he literally was looking at those guys, and those guys were like, no, we want you to take the shot. We have confidence in you. He had confidence in himself, even when he failed, that he knew next time, hey, I'm making the next one. I missed it again. I'm taking the next one. I'm making the next one. And it was that kind of drive that I saw throughout his career that was really just different, set him apart from so many other players and made him a legend in my mind for sure.
Yeah. Remember when he joined the Redeem team, and that was just like the missing piece to the whole thing?
Yeah.
And just his work ethic and how he brought other people that should have probably been there already under his wing in terms of discipline and getting to the gym early. He kind of taught those guys, how to work. You have all this God-given talent, but you're not working on your craft. This is how you do it. Even on the Olympic schedule where you go away, it's like almost like a vacation and you just kind of like play, right? He was like the first one in the gym and the last one to leave, and also he would be up early to go to the gym to work out, and he had the same mentality as Jordan in that aspect. Like he was like, I need to be there because if I'm not there, so and so is going to be there and he's going to be working on their craft, and then I'm going to be behind.
Yeah,
it's pretty crazy, that Mamba mentality.
That's like the Mamba mentality applies to any and every facet of life. Like, there's so many great Kobe stories. Mark Lamont Hill, who also is a Philadelphia native, grew up with Kobe, was played on a few different teams coming up in the Sunny Hill League with Kobe. He tells an amazing story of one day practice is over and he's leaving practice and Kobe is at the line shooting left-handed free throws. And he's like, when are you going to ever in your life have to shoot a left-handed free throw? He said, and then I remember a game where Kobe got fouled and went to the line and he had fractured his right hand. And he made both those left-handed free throws. He was like, yo, this man was like looking in the future at like what possibly could come up maybe one time potentially that I'm going to have to prepare for now at 16 years old. And that's the difference, was that mentality of no matter what is going on, what scenario I can conjure up, I'm going to prepare for that moment now. That Mamba mentality, bro, is like next level, which is why Kyrie is also, he's cut from that same cloth and he studied at the foot of Kobe Bryant. And as you said, with Jordan, that's where he got it from. Jordan, you say all the time, like, he would call me and talk to me and ask me 100 million questions because he wanted to be the greatest. Mm-hmm. And I loved that about him, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mamba mentality.
That's it, man.
Man.
All right. So
also it's like thinking on the fly or like adapting on the fly. So like the preparation's one thing, but he was so good at, adjusting and not sweating it. Even making a free throw when he snapped his Achilles. You remember that?
I remember that.
He shot 2 free throws, sunk them both on one foot.
Right.
Insane.
Come on, man.
Well, especially when you see other guys with the same injury crumpled on the floor.
Right. They need a gurney.
You got to wheel them out. And this guy literally sucked it up and said, I got 2 shots to sink before I...
Yeah. No preparation can...
Some medical attention.
No amount of preparation can get you to sink 2 free throws on one foot, on one Achilles, right?
Man. Truly, truly the GOAT. One of the greatest. And if you disagree, then unsubscribe to this podcast and delete
then resubscribe
from your history.
Next week.
Get out of here. Anyway, speaking of things to unsubscribe and delete, Adidas confirmed is back from the dead. And as someone who obviously loves Adidas, this was not placed here because of the story at all. This is one of my latest cops. I don't know how I feel about this because I feel like if it's anything like the sneakers app, then it's just a beautiful display of L's. So why do I need another reminder that I'm never going to catch or, get any dubs from this app? I've been doing well on Yeezy Supply and I've been doing well on, Adidas draws and things of that nature. Josh, how you feel about this as the other Adidas connoisseur in this threesome?
Yeah, well, I love my Yeezys for sure. And I think 2 things. One, the confirmed app in its previous form was junk. It was garbage. I remember doing a few things with it. A lot of it was like geographically specific. So you had to be like X amount of miles from a city center. And so if you were in a metropolitan area, it was good because you were copping a bunch of stuff that you could pick up locally. If you were like outside of 30 miles from a city center like that, ultimately you were, up the creek without a paddle. And so you couldn't cop. I think what they're trying to do here is they're trying to streamline the way that they sort of run the raffle system. And then also bring into the elements some like community integration, conversation, branding, the opportunities that somewhat sneakers is taking advantage of like bringing in some artists, bringing in music, bringing in like some cross-industry stuff to make people more excited about buying the sneakers and kind of change the sneaker experience. For me, though, as we'll say a power purchaser, not really, but someone who likes to cop almost, a couple of weekends a month at least, I don't really care about all the frills and the bells and the whistles when it comes to what it looks like. I just want to know that it's going to be quick that I'm going to be able to cop, and I don't want to be spending 2 hours waiting for a notification about whether or not I got the sneaker. You know what I mean? I need to move on mentally. I need to get on with my weekends, or I need to quickly figure out how I'm going to get the sneaker I just missed out on. So for me, I don't care what it looks like. I care about how user-friendly it is and whether or not like you get an instant W or an L. And that's something that right now sneakers doesn't even do. So that's my hope for Confirmed is like maybe it'll, rejuvenate an angry mob of people who have had a terrible experience with Nike in the past, 6 months. So
bells and whistles, more like L's and whistles.
Ooh, I like that.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a feature now.
There you go. Efren, how you feel about the Confirmed app?
I don't know. I don't buy stripes.
Yo, you got to tell us more about why. I bet you everybody that just heard that wants to know, why is this guy not buy
Comfort?
stripes?
Oh, no, I love Comfort. I have an Ultra Boost. I have a pair of Ultra Boosts that I bought probably by accident. I was probably drugged.
He said, I have an Ultra Boost.
just
one shoe.
Singular.
Just one shoe.
What's your beef with the stripes, bro?
I don't have a beef. It's just, I don't know. Maybe I haven't taken a dive into it yet. Maybe I will. I haven't bought into the Yeezy train yet. I don't know. We'll see. You guys are looking at me all funny. I feel weird.
We are.
It's called judgment.
We're not sure why.
It's called judgment.
Maybe you never experienced this, but this is my judging face.
These are the same moments we have with Nick every time he puts out a rock stock drop. And he
killed it this week though.
He wants to stock something crazy. You know what I'm saying? If you haven't checked that segment out, check it out. But my question for you, Efren, is not why they hate on Adidas, but like, what's your problem with Yeezy? Do they all look the same to you? I mean, S and I were having that conversation earlier that like sometimes the pictures that Adidas puts up is not necessarily what you get in hand. Like a lot of times it looks like more colorful. The colors pop, they look brighter, and then you get them in hand, and there's like this dusty gray.
They are definitely the Instagram models of of the sneaker world. They look way better on the gram, and then you see them in person, you're like,
oh, it's like the person that like puts that young filter on themselves on Snapchat. It's the same thing with the sneakers. They're just putting that filter on.
Exactly.
No, I mean, maybe I just haven't given it a chance, to be honest. Maybe all it'll take is just one pair, and then that would be it. But I don't know. I just could never hit on the raffles, like even if I tried. So maybe I just gave up too easily.
That's not Mamba mentality right there.
I still feel judged. Yeah, no, yeah. Wow. Way to bring it back. Man, okay. I'll give it a shot.
Did you have the Kobe 2s though? Did you have the Kobe 2s?
No. No way.
The Adidas Kobe 2s.
Oh man. Do you think Kobe had the Kobe 2s?
No.
Guys, you remember he wore them a couple weeks and then he trashed them and went back to the Kobe 1. So he's like, I'm not wearing these.
But that's the reason why he went to Nike, right?
Yeah.
Because of that design?
Yeah, well, I read like Adidas was not too pleased when he was like, yeah, I'm not wearing my second flagship signature shoe. Nah, this is ugly and it's going to go right on my foot. So
it looks like a DeLorean.
Yeah.
It was like a swole DeLorean. It's like a minivan DeLorean.
Could you imagine a minivan DeLorean? Like you pull up and then the door still opens like the wing.
That'd be sick. I would have a minivan DeLorean.
Yeah.
Easy.
I think the Tesla SUVs open up like that, right?
They do. I think it's only one side though. But yeah.
Okay.
Or maybe it's two. I don't know.
That'll be something for us to track. Will Efren have a minivan DeLorean first or a pair of Yeezys? What's going to happen?
Oh, definitely the minivan DeLorean. That's probably easier to cop.
Damn.
Dang.
If you've never got Yeezys before, which would be kind of like, all right, start with this one and then you'll be hooked forever.
This is too easy for me. I would tell you either Pirate Black or something like the Cinders. I just think if you've never had a pair, you go like kind of simple. Yeah, the 350s, but the Cinders or the Pirate Black.
Okay.
Easy for first timers, and you can like fit them with anything. I think the problem with some 350s and either other silhouettes is like people don't know how to fit them. Find a fit for them. With those like all blacks, man, it's just easy just to wear them with a lot of stuff. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it takes a lot of effort to style a lot of the colorways and the different 700s, 500s, the Ninja Turtle foot, the one that looks like a minivan. I think they call it minivans, right? That's what they're called. There's a one, I don't know if it was the 500s. I don't know. No, 700s, but they're called MVNS, which
yeah. Yep.
Anyway, yeah, so yeah, it is a bit hard to style. But once you put your foot in a 350, when you put your foot in any other shoe, it's going to feel like you're walking in concrete bricks.
Is it true to size?
No, I go a size up. I'm a 12. Okay. I buy a 13.
Yeah, I usually do half a size up. But you can also take the insole out. Some people do that as well.
Yeah. Oh. And it's all Boost under there, baby.
Yep.
Can't go wrong.
All right.
Anyway. He's sold this week.
Can you tell?
The Arzareth. Come on.
I can't even pronounce that. How do you even say that?
I told us every time that comes out, like I can never figure out the right pronunciation. So you're just kind of like, you either say it with confidence like he does, or you say it like me. Arzareth.
Right.
What was the last podcast at the Saint Germain? What is it?
I think I got that right, guys. I went back and checked myself. I fact checked myself.
You fact
PSG was just in the whatchamacallit Champions League final.
Yeah.
And so I was listening to the announcers talk about it. I'm like, I think I nailed it. I think I got it.
Nice.
Good job.
We'll see.
Oh man. All right, so let's move on to this next topic. You get a pair. You get a pair. You get a pair. Everybody get a pair. We all in this chat right here have multiple little childrens who each have 2 feet each. So we got a lot of feet
at least
that we need to, at least. Whoa. we got a lot of feet we need to put kicks on. So do you guys have any strategies, any tips? How do you, back to school is coming up, and that usually means everybody gets a fresh pair. How though, when you have to put 4 pair, in my case 3 pair, like are you laying a layaway? Are you macaroni and cheese and cereal for a week? Like, how does this work?
I recently got pairs for my kids, and it's like their first pair of J's, or just like high quality sneakers for that matter. And what I did was I went a size up, because I know by the time that it gets here, they're already growing. So it'll be, especially with the speed, or air quotes speed, of StockX recently. I mean, I got the pairs like a month later. So now they're like a half size bigger than when I had ordered them. But I always, I think moving forward, I'm probably going to use the same strategy, just because they're little and they're growing. I don't want to have them wear it for 6 months and then that's it.
Word.
Yeah, so even if they have to clown it, look like class shoes.
That's a smart strategy. I mean, the other thing about kids, at least mine, is like they tend to beat their shoes up. Like I know us, at least personally, try to keep them clean and try to take care of them. You have a rotation, so like they don't get as much wear. But my kids, like literally, day 1, pristine sneakers. Day 2, like there's tears.
What were they doing?
The insoles are ripped out. I'm like, where'd you guys go? Oh, we were outside for like 30 minutes.
Mountain climbing?
We went for a bike ride. I'm like, were you riding off?
You had brakes, right? Did you just drag your foot to stop the bike? What did you do?
Exactly. So
a wrestling match in the woods?
Yeah. That's my problem with my kids, is like even just keeping them like decent. So we typically go on like a every 6 month type of thing, where like we'll just get a fresh pair every 6 months, rotate them in and out. My son's easy because he's a bit of a young sneakerhead. He's 11 now. And so like he's like always saying, "Hey dad, like I got to build my collection. I need a rotation." Yeah. I'm like, dude, your foot's still growing.
Right.
Thanks for us
to about it.
Go all out and invest money in a collection for you. And like Efren said, a couple weeks later, your foot grows half a size, and you're telling me, "Oh, these hurt my toes. I can't wear them anymore." So I think you try to be smart about it. And I know my wife is listening, and she would probably say that too many times I get used and abused by my son into getting another pair of sneakers when I probably shouldn't. So he kind of knows. He'll come up and be like, "Oh, what are you looking at?" I'm like, oh, I'm looking at these sneakers. He's like, oh, Dad, those would be so cool if we had the same ones. Those are so cool. And I'm just like, all right, you want them? Let's go. Let's get them. Come on. So I'm a bit of a softie in that. And my wife will absolutely confirm that 100%.
Word. See, with me, it's interesting because I have all boys. So the hand-me-down lifestyle is super, legit nice at my crib. So me and my oldest son, we wear the same size now. So he has, access to my sneakers, but then I have access to his too. So, we'll play around in that world. But my middle son is a 9.5. He's 13. He's a 9.5. And my youngest son, who's 10, he is a 3.5. So what's interesting is because my son, who's 9.5, he has he dogs sneakers, notoriously destroys kicks. And because me and his older brother and even his younger brother had clowned him about it so much, he's so self-conscious of it that he had a pair of dog walkers that he never wore because he was afraid of getting them destroyed. And then he outgrew them.
Wow.
So now he can't wear them. So now they go to my youngest son, and my youngest son is always on. He's like, yes, I can't believe it. You didn't even put your foot in these. I'm getting a fresh pair of dog walkers that never been worn. So now
Minnie needs like that thing, that machine that like wraps.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
He definitely needs those. But what I've done to kind of remedy the whole thing is I buy them a pair of ball sneakers because they all hoop. So, like, here are your ball sneakers that you can wear in the gym only, never touch concrete.
Right.
Here are your play sneakers that you can ball outside in the street. You can play whenever you're running around playing these. And these kicks are for when we go out and I don't want you embarrassing me looking crazy. Then you can pull these sneakers out. So we all have our desert, and even I do. Like, I have my beaters that I run around with if I'm running to the store or something like that. If I'm going for a hike, my wife loves to hike, so we go for hikes all the time. I don't mind getting those dusty, getting those beat up.
But she wears Yeezys, right?
Kat, yeah, her kick game is better than mine, and it's like accidental.
Accidental.
It's like, oh, yeah.
No, she's playing that.
Aren't these cute? Yeah, she act like she don't like.
Shout out to Catosphere, but she knows.
She knows, bro. Yeah. She told me I need a pair of zebras, I need a pair of clay, and now she just got the desert sand.
Josh looked behind him. He's like, that one.
Well, no, I was behind because I was gonna say. Speaking of wives, like I just recently got my wife finally caved and was like, I'm gonna do a pair of Jordans, but she wanted to be Jordan tie-dyes. These are so awesome. I got them for her, and then I was like, dang, man, I wish I had them for me, too. We could rock them together.
But
for women's releases. Pair, what was that?
Women's releases recently.
Oh,
been killing.
It's been crazy. Better than men's releases for sure in 2020. Yes. But yeah, I don't know what's with that. But even for her, like I'm trying to slowly break her down into thinking more about wearing sneakers and not just, just stuff that's comfortable and you wear around to, to be in the house or be with the kids or go to work or whatever, but ones that like, they're higher end. They look good, but it's an uphill battle.
It is. But here's my problem with that. Since we're on this subject, my wife is 5'3", so and I'm 6'3", so she has to wear heels. She feels like when she goes out. Problem is, we always go out in New York City,
right?
So how comfortable can you get when you know you're going to be walking around a lot? So I'm always been trying to push sneakers on her. Forever, just because they're comfortable. She got a small foot. She looks great in them. Like, why not?
Yeah. But my wife has been in love with Ultra Boost forever. That's like the sneakers she wants to wear because they're so comfortable.
Yes.
So getting her to rock a pair of Jordans was not easy because I think her primary focus is comfort over that. Even though she looks great, she can wear a pair of Ultra Boost. But yeah, sometimes you got to branch out. Efren, does Amanda have a pair of anything yet that's kind of like?
No, but she was talking to your wife though.
Was she?
Yeah, she messaged Allison when she saw the post.
Yeah.
with the tie-dyes, and she's like, "Oh, nice shoes." And then I'm like in the background, like, "Yes, nice shoes, right?"
Right.
And then, but she responded to Amanda. She goes, "Yeah, you should get some. You should get a pair." And I'm like, "There it is, you know."
Come
And then she's
on.
like, "Maybe." And I'm like, "Aw."
All right, more social pressure next time. We'll
I
figure it out.
know. I know. I'll give her the look that you guys gave me when you found out that
Yeah,
I
man.
wasn't buying stripes, but
That'll
whatever.
work.
Oh, but not to go off on a tangent though, but even just talking about the quality of sneakers, and this is something that's been coming up in so many
Yeah.
conversations. I was even thinking back to when I was a kid or younger growing up. You would spend $100 on a pair, but the quality was really good. The materials were good. They held up for a long time. The problem with now is even like some of the high-end sneakers, they're made with crappy materials.
Yeah.
Stuff that like is almost meant to break and tear and fade. And so it almost sucks because even if you invest in a pair at a higher price, you know that they're gonna wear out just if not quicker than they were before, which is just frustrating, especially when you're talking about kids who just, naturally beat their shoes more. So
Yeah. The mids are actually, in terms of material, getting better. But I was upset with the Pine Green 2.0 materials. They felt cheap in hand. I don't know if you agree with me, Josh, or if you've ever held them in hand. They just felt like mids. Yeah. Right? I mean, like they feel stiff. They feel a little stiff.
They do.
feel
That's why
stiff.
I traded mine in.
Oh, you got the
For
1.0.
the 1.0s.
Okay.
Which
Talk
are
about
they're a
it.
little bit softer, a little bit better, but I agree with you on those. Something felt stiff in them. Like
Yeah, they do feel.
And the
stiff.
wings, I'm not a fan of.
oh, the kind
They're
of
like
just like
blacked out.
pop out.
Yeah.
The pop out wing.
monochromatic.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I
weird.
didn't like that either. Talking about quality though, a sneaker that just released that actually has amazing quality. I know BB Sketch has them. I just got a pair. The OG versus OG, the James Harden, Iverson questions.
Yes. Right.
The materials on those guys are crazy. It'll take you right back to how buttery
You have it behind
shoes
you?
used to feel.
Of course he does. He knows what aisle to go to.
He's like, it's in row 12.
These. But literally, I could spend hours just feeling the leather on these, and it's like a soft plush. And even if you go like inside the shoe, the ankle's like cupped in like the softest kind of like foamy, cushiony materials. They spared no expense, and I think it was maybe $10 more than just the regular questions. But the quality is insane. So
Listen,
good.
you did a good job explaining it to the listeners. So.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I could almost feel it by how you described it.
Wow. You just close your eyes and you're just envisioning.
They're dope, man.
That's good. What was the first pair of sneakers you got for your kids?
Man.
Wait, a question for you is, what's the first pair that you grabbed from your oldest son's closet to wear?
Oh, the semi-frozen yellow Yeezys. I bought them for Christmas, 2017?
Oh, wow. You were just waiting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I kind of like planted the seed that those were dope. I'm like, yo, these are hard, right? He's like, yeah, those are tough. I'm like, oh, these are crazy. And then, so I planted the seed that he started to like them. And then when I got them, it's funny because I bought a pair physically in store. Because I actually bought a pair from, I think it was Concept, and I'm like, yo, something felt weird. I'm like, oh no, the money left my account and everything. I'm like, I don't know. And then I was like, yo, go to Foot Locker in Times Square. Foot Locker in Times Square gets the most pairs. So this was like 7:00 after work. I walk over and I'm like, yo, you have these in a 12? And he's like, yeah, we have them in a 12. So I got them physically in a 12. And I was like, all right, so if the other ones come, I'll just return these. That's fine. But if they don't come, then I have a pair. And at least I got them for Christmas.
Wow.
And they got canceled. And they returned my money and everything. I'm like, so thank God I got them. But I couldn't wait. I literally like let him go to school. And I let him wear it first. Like I wasn't disrespectful. He wore it a couple times. And then he went to school after when Christmas break was over. He went to school And then as soon as I made sure he was on the bus, I pulled those turkeys out. I had my lei already wet. I had my outfit crispy. I walked around at work. They were like, "Whoa, look at those! Those are great." Yeah. And then I snuck home back real quick before he got home and put them back in the box, so he didn't even know.
Man, he didn't even know?
Oh no,
does he know now? Hopefully, he's not listening to the podcast. Man, this is gonna be a big reveal.
Oh, JoJo, you could.
He knows now that I have worn his kicks before.
Okay. All right.
But yeah.
And Josh,
awesome.
what was the first bit? Was it the black cement that you got?
Yeah.
Brady?
It was the black cement 3s that I got Brady. He had some other pairs before, but that was kind of the first kind of notable pair that he had, that he rocked.
That's good parenting, man.
Oh, man. He wore the crap out of those. Yeah. And he still keeps every pair that doesn't fit anymore in his room. Because he's like, yeah, Dad, one day I want to show off my collection. And he's like, yeah, I wore these. And I was like, hey, like your little cousins might like these. He's like, nah, Dad.
No, they hate them,
man. These are memories. They hate them. These are my first pair. I'm like, okay, whatever. That sounds good.
Yo.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Now my daughter never got a pair. Never got a pair. She's not into sneakers, which makes me sad. But I will literally say, hey, Riley, like, how about these? How about these? I'll get you these. And she's like, no, thanks, Dad. I'm okay. Those aren't I don't like those.
But is she wearing Skechers or something that like hurts your soul? Or
no, she's wearing like
hurts your soul.
She's wearing like, man. God, she's wearing like little heels. Like she wants to be like fashion forward.
She's a lady.
She's wearing, like open toe stuff and like flip flops and stuff that like sandals. She's like loves fashion, loves to wear dresses. So that's great. But she's like, Dad, I'm not into sneakers. I'm like, okay.
So please explain, please keep it all the way real with me right now on this podcast. If any of your children said, Daddy, I want these Skechers that light up, that wouldn't be a gut-wrenching moment for you?
It would be gut-wrenching. Actually, it would invoke the reaction that if you caught JoJo eating cereal out of his shoes,
exactly,
smack it at it at the store. At the store, they're holding it up. Oh, what about these? They light up, right? And they're hitting it with the heel, and just smack them out of their hand. Like we're walking out of here.
Yeah, I would say this.
Right to the car.
Dad's controlling the purse strings. So
that's right.
That hard on money is not going to buy a pair of Skechers. Sorry. Not even if they have the little wheels on the back, the Heelys. I see a lot of kids with those too. And I'm like, no, guys, sorry. We'll save our money. We'll get you something nice. You're not rocking Skechers.
Yeah.
I don't care if Joe Montana wore Skechers.
Did he wear Skechers?
I think so. I think he was like a spokesperson for like Shape Ups or something like that. The Skechers Shape Ups.
Yikes.
No, Efren, you got nice calves though. You look like you could.
Well, thank you. S thinks they're photoshopped, which I kind of take that as a compliment. So thank you.
I know they're Photoshop. I've seen them in person, and they were not nearly as impressive. So, come on, son.
He doctors. It was definitely wearing jeans or something.
He doctors his calves in post.
He got that flex filter. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, come on. Yeah. Come on. I don't skip leg day.
Oh, man.
Although, don't ask me now because quarantine.
I got the quarantine 15. I don't know if you guys have heard about that, but
got the quarantine 17.
Oof.
Yeah,
man.
I'm actually down since quarantine, but we went on vacation for a week, and I think I got the vacation 15.
But that's what vacation is, right? Vacation is, all right, let's go to somewhere else and just eat.
Yeah, right. I think it was like permission to eat a donut every single day.
Yeah, what? Come on, you're on vacation.
I don't feel bad about that.
You shouldn't. Those calories don't count. They were out of state.
That's
right.
Well, all right. I think that's enough for this podcast.
Yeah, we start talking about Skechers. So once we start talking about Skechers,
it's time to wrap it up.
It's time to wrap it up.
Exactly. We don't want to lose any subscribers. And if you're not a subscriber yet, don't judge us on the Skechers. I'm sure you feel the same way that we feel. So why don't you just hit that subscribe, leave us a review, rate us with all the stars humanly possible. And thank you so much for listening to the Dad's Got Kicks podcast. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at Dad's Got Kicks. Make sure you check out dadsgotkicks.com for the merch. You see Josh rocking the fly dad hat. Fire. We got some other dope merch over there because I know you guys are proud dads like us, and we like to represent, show it, and be loud and proud about it. Until next time, y'all. Peace.